Good morning, everyone. I'm almost ready. I'm still slowly getting set up. um, Mic is on. Yep, reminding myself of that while I finish my oatmeal. I'm almost done, I promise. Okay, okay. Do I have room to put my bowl over here? That's a question. Yeah, we can tuck it over there. Okay. I've got chat. I've got my coffee. I just drank like half of. That's okay. I probably needed it. Okay, let's get you over onto the art side of things. All right, let's. It's not like you haven't done this for once. You know how to do this. All right, let's see. Art screen on. Um, Huzzah? Huzzah. Okay. Yeah, page 14 today. Sorry, I had an itch that was all of a sudden demanded 100% of my focus. Okay. What are we working on? Girl, why'd you do this to yourself? Okay, let's work on that's not what I wanted to do. Panels. Let's work on getting the panels in here. I think it's on 50. There you go. Okay, let's go in to try to match. That's not matching. I'm so good at this. No, stop saying self-deprecating things about yourself. Be nice. I'm trying to be nice to myself. Because apparently I'm not very good at that. Nope. I just realized. No, it will go down. Okay, good. I was like, I can't see the bottom of this page. Should be almost there. Come on, keep going. A little bit more. A little farther. Yeah, there we go. So there will be some stuff that I actually don't have to draw. Yay! Okay, let's look at that. Yeah. It's mostly good. It's mostly even. Okie dokie. Okay, so that's the panels. This was the inks again. Okay, great. Awesome. Cool. Um, yeah. I honestly think we might just be diving into detail today. And then working on character design kind of around it. Because some of these people, like these two people are new, so I can probably draw them in. That's the waiter from the other page. These are the couples from like the backs of their heads. This guy is from the back of the head in the first page, so now I'm drawing his front. This guy's completely new, so I can probably work on Jameson. And of course, like Roz's hair. And after that, I'm gonna need references for like this entire party. So, all right, cool. We got a game plan. Let's work on details and what characters are new, and then fill in like Roz's hair, because those are things that we like don't have to reference back and forth a lot with. Just bravely freehanding this right now. Clearly, I haven't drawn his features in. And once again, somehow, despite it being November, I'm like sweating in my robe. But now that I've taken it off, my pajamas might, in fact, be not warm enough. It's fine. We'll just. I'm playing the oh my god, I'm not comfortable with anything. Like body temperature game. But I would rather be slightly cold than slightly too warm, you know? Okay, these were curtains. I know that much. Some type of little curtain. Would it be like that? Actually, might be. Because it's like a little deeper than the actual outside. Yeah, I think that's probably closer to accurate. Okay. Little window, little curtain. Oh yeah, and today we're listening to Kiki Rockwell. It's kind of very tiny at the bottom right corner there, but this is her album from 2024, The Eldest Daughter of an Eldest Daughter. once again, it's very, you know, witchy vibes mixed with a healthy dose of I don't know, probably honestly probably like female rage a little bit. A lot of her songs have uh you know, basically the issues of living in a very gendered culture. All right, we've committed to making these into like posters. So, what are the posters of? I mean, honestly, probably past events that happened at the tavern, because like there's there's room for them. They can rearrange his furniture and make like a little stage for like a bard or something. So I'm sure they have done that on several occasions. There we go. I'm just fixing the line of that. Let's see. What could they have? There's something. Just like I don't know. I was thinking like one of those like Cirque du Soleil kind of poster looking things with like the dancer. And then I don't know why I'm working like fake language when clearly I've already established that I'm just doing everything with English letters. Okay. Um I wonder if they would still call it dueling instead of just like cage match or whatever. Okay, some type of fight poster. These aren't okay. I want to draw like Polaroid pictures so bad, but I really don't think they have that technology yet. I think honestly, a lot of these are going to be like probably very quick sketches from just like resident portraitists who go to different events to draw people with their to draw people with people. Let's do a less awkward lute player, maybe. Something like that. It's almost like a Polaroid, but it also is probably very much drawn. But also it's drawn by me. Haha! Inception. Drawing Inception. Okay, and then let's do I want to draw corners like this. Like, I like it, but I literally have no idea what thought process led to me doing that. Um, Man, I was hoping that cup of coffee would have fixed the headache I had, and it doesn't seem like it's fixing it. I'm gonna try not to end stream early. It's just a little headache. And honestly, I've worked through worse. So. But if it starts getting bigger, it is in my eyeball right now, so. Ugh. Compared to the fact that I once upon a time, I had headaches literally every single day. Many of them frequently migraines. But um hey, that's actually what most of the medication is for, to be honest. It really started with like headache management because I just like I could not function with these headaches. And hey, now I'm down to like a headache once like every 3 months, which is honestly kind of a miracle into itself. At like it went from literally like every day for years to a couple hours long headache once every 3 4 months. So medication is definitely working. I will allow this headache to happen if it happens because I've been headache free since like I remember the last time I had a headache. I mean, definitely this summer. But yeah, that's a new feeling for me to be honest. Not feeling pain in my head. But I tell you, like living that long with headaches kind of like it used all of my energy. Like I was like borrowing from the future because like the things that I did with a headache, you know, like, you know, so occasionally working nearly full-time job, like basically full-time hours. I had two jobs at one point during this, were, yeah, 20 weeks at one and like 30 hours at the other. Yeah. And like, man, I don't even know how I can't even imagine myself surviving like that. But I think that's the thing is that like I borrowed whatever energy I was supposed to have now um to do that for so long. And so now I can't do that anymore because I did not take care of myself years ago, so I'm paying for it now. Good morning, Swag. How are you? I'm having just revelations about my health right now. But hey, we're working on it. We're being nice to myself, and that includes actually taking care of my body when my body needs taken care of. Like, I would love to make a joke of like that's a radical new concept for me, but I'm actually a little bit afraid that if I make that joke, it'll be a little bit too true, and I am not ready to face those facts. Thank you, Swag. Swag's like nice. Love that for you. Yeah, I'm trying to be nicer to myself, but like, I don't know, whatever. There's no but like oh, but I deserve no, but like more like I don't know. The way I derive value in myself is a little broken, and that's what I've been working on for the most part, is learning how to value myself for myself and not for the things that I do for other people. Sometimes I like to think of it as like a I will say like my therapist did not use these terms. This is fully from me. Like don't give therapy any shit. They're like you find a good one and they work. They really do. Um, it's like a slightly more sane voice that you can have in your head telling you actually that's not normal and that's crazy and you shouldn't have to deal with that. Um, but I like to think of it as experiencing what it's like to live as a privileged white male. You know, like yeah, the average privileged like whale like white male like you know this is probably how they think and react in terms of confidence in themselves. And I was like, oh, I said I was going to work on posters, and I immediately started working on the bookshelf. All right, let's redirect. Okay, we have two big posters done. We have one big poster left. We have one little poster done. I have two left. Okay, let's decide what we're putting on these little guys. Hmm. What if there was like a quartet? Maybe they're signed. Or just something. Maybe I just drew squiggles. Who knows? Okay. Um, Another poster that's honestly more than half covered up. What I draw? I guess like maybe another bard. Ooh. For some reason, I decided that this needs this. Yeah, let's just do something. What does a harp look like? Oh my god. Actually, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just draw. I think with one of these, are the toggles on the top and the bottom? They're on the bottom, but I'll just leave it like that. Actually, wait, what am I doing? Let's do. Okay, some type of witch hat wearing person. Guess I'm going back to. Only just realized it as I was watching myself doing it. We're going back to the bookcase. Then I immediately stopped following the lines. Oop, that's a pencil. No, I can do this. I can do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Bookshelf time. Or I don't know why I'm zoning out. It's just a bookshelf. Okay. I'm gonna zoom out actually because I'm gonna have to do perspective fuckery. Which yeah, I mostly eyeball because I'm insane. No, I'm being nice to myself. My brain just works in unique and heretofore undiscovered ways. There we go. It's like the actual sightline is actually over here, I think. Yeah. Okay, so let's say we're aiming up for there. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna have to make the shells more even, but that's gonna help a lot. Okay, okay. And now that I've got that done, let's just immediately move on to something else. Yeah. Yeah, we cut out almost entirely all of that. Okay. Well, that would be just draw one of those little. What are they? I can't think of the name of the comic that I really like. It's a Fox comic. It's the one where they like are super nice to each other, and they're I think both of them are vaguely neurodivergent. Like neurodivergent foxes. That can't be. There's got to be another name for that, right? Yeah. I literally just read a comic of theirs this morning, and now I'm completely blanking on their name. Anyway, Little Easter egg there. You know, I think someday I'm gonna have to boot up my copy of Rocky Horror again and actually like try to find all the Easter eggs. I know where one of them is, but like theoretically there's more visible um than just like the one famous one that I know of. So, I don't know. That might be a fun way to kill a weekend. To drop leaves. There we go. Hi, Virgil. How are you, baby? Do you want your bucket? You can sit next to Mama. Oh, hi, baby. What's going on, sweetie? Why are you under there? Virgil's very good, and he's never done this before. But I've had so many cats that do. Yeah, Kitty is here. I've had so many cats that chew on wires that every single time he walks under my desk, I get nervous, even though, like, I've known Virgil for. I'm gonna do math, and that's gonna make me sad. He's 10 years old. I've probably known him for at least 7 years now. He's never chewed on wires, but like every time he gets under my computer and computer desk with where all the wires are, I'm like, no, baby, you the baby. Do not eat my computer wires and destroy everything like my last thousands of cats before you. And thousands because Virgil thinks I'm immortal and this, is a benevolent, benevolent. That can't be right. That sounds weird. I'm mispronouncing that. I don't know. I'm just some fey immortal being. I think, and then Virgil's fine, especially because he will take me to the window when it's raining and be like, "Please make it stop raining." I'm like, baby, I don't have that power. There's many things that mommy can do for baby, like give him fresh water and feed him and give him pets and a warm place to sleep, but I cannot make it stop raining. Isn't that right, baby? Oh my goodness. He's like, no, mommy, you shouldn't be staring at that box. You should be petting Kitty right now. Actually, he might sense that I have a headache, so he does tend to get very attentive. Someday I'm going to redo my YouTuber thing. My the person who's bouncing and talking. um, 'Cause I think I have a way, even with my program. Um, Actually, at this point, I think I'm just going to be a YouTuber. Yeah, I think at this point, I just need to buy the full copy of the program that's like letting me like talk on here, so I can do slightly more fancier um things because I kind of really want to bring Virgil. I want to bring. I want there to be like a Virgil button. That way, Kitty can be with me on the screen as well. My little buddy. Mm-hmm. You keeping an eye on things, making sure things are safe. Yeah, you're so good. You're such a good card cat. He's just very politely, like every once in a while, reaching out and tapping my arm with his paw, like hello. I am still existing. Why do I feel like these lines aren't? Probably because I wasn't following the guideline as my. Okay, okay. So the actual grid square is there. Yeah, okay. That's why it looks weird. That's better. Virgil is so polite. He's he's such a good little kitty man. And like, I'm glad that he is. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to touch your spot. He has a spot in his ear that he really does not like touched. Mostly because he has a mole in his ear, or some type of just a little bit of a raised bump, but it's exactly in the path of his claws, so it's frequently scabbed over because he like nicks himself like just a little bit, just kind of scrapes, real quick the skin up there, and of course it's like in his ear, so it's real tender. And anyway, you have to be really careful when you scratch his ears. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, but I'm sorry he had such a difficult little kittenhood, but I am very happy that we were able to, you know, give him a good home, and he is doing so well now. Yeah, what a baby. I can't remember who it was I was talking to. I think it was. I mean, this is also a conversation I had years ago. I'm pretty. I think it was college or just like right after college. Um, I when I was in college and even after college, I hung out and like not really worked, but like volunteered with a lot of like the foreign exchange students essentially. Um, and I remember talking to this one girl from Germany. Anyway, I can't remember where we were at, but um, not that it matters. Whatever. She's just talking about like family pets and stuff like that, and like I don't know if this is all Germany or this is just her experience, but she said something about like cats, especially the whole like, oh yeah, like, but if you want to get a cat, it's kind of expensive, blah 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 blah, and like buying one at the pet shop or whatever, and and I was like, yeah, I know that's like that's a thing, that you can even do in America, like you go and you buy a pet, but like, I just like told her I was like, here, like specifically here in the states that we're in right now, um dogs, yeah, I've definitely heard of people getting very specific breeds of dogs for hundreds of dollars, or sometimes thousands, if they really want like a particular dog. I've never heard of, no one that I know of personally in my life, like met, shook their hand, that lives here for any amount of time has ever bought a cat. Cats are things that you find on the street that come into your home and then you just accept as your pet now. Like, yeah, I don't have a single friend who. I've had lots of friends who went to the animal shelter to adopt a cat. Like that, yeah, that happens. But yeah, almost all of the cats I've ever owned were just creatures that wandered into my home. That I was like, well, we're roommates now. Be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna set me up a little sandbox. I'll poo in here, and then I'm gonna sleep on your bed and purr real loud. I'm like, all right, that's a good deal. Oh, you have met a person about a cat breed? What breed was the cat? That I think that's always my first. I was like there's so many free ones just walking around on the street. You just sort of hold your door open and you know, get a can of tuna and you lure them in. A ragdoll named Pudge. A big meanie. Oh no. Pudge was a meanie kitty. Did you hear that? You're not like Pudge. He's like, no, I'm a good kitty. Look at me. I am so cute. I am tall. I am handsome. I have one hand on Virgil's head, and then one hand on. Well, I'm trying to draw, but I'm also trying to pet him at the same time, so it's getting a little hard. Um, like the only cat I think I might, if I ever get to the place where like I would want to spend a lot of money in pursuit of a particular type of animal, because I've always been a I'd rather adopt my like neighborhood animals than like searching out to bring one to my home, because I'm like, they already live here, I might as well feed them. um I don't know. I mean, animals have personalities and souls to me, so like, anyway. um I Either those, the Maine Coons, or like, I don't. My brain is telling me they're somewhat related to our Norwegian forest cats. I do not think that's true, but they're big, like those forest cats. Oh, Bengals are cute. Yeah, I met a Bengal kitten once, and she was a lot. She was high energy, but also I couldn't tell. Like, and I've heard that that's just Bengals in general, but like, she was also a kitten, so I think the high energy was like multiplied. But oh my god, she was athletic. She was like the Cirque du Soleil of cats. I have a friend who fosters cats, and you know, sometimes they don't leave, but you know, she does frequently foster them out to people, and yeah, she had a Bengal for a minute while they were like, you know, I guess it was a very small litter, and like the person could not take care of that many kittens all at once or something, and I don't know what the situation was. I just know that for some reason she just had the one Bengal kitten that she was like, I guess I have one Bengal cat now. Um, but yeah, she got adopted out pretty quick. I met or my friend rather actually has a like a dwarf cat, like a cat with dwarfism, and whatever. Wraith is very cute. I like Wraith. He am short. he's he's just a black short haired cat, and perfectly proportioned except for the tiniest little legs you've ever seen. He's very sweet, but he's also very shy. Like, I think I was over at her place maybe like 5 or 6 times before he finally got the nerve to like come down the stairs and look at me. I was like, so you're the person who's been coming into the house. Okay, good. Now I know this. And it goes right back upstairs. But man, yeah, I would probably have a Maine Coon. Those cats are gigantic. I love me a good big roly-poly cat. I also like thick, fluffy kitties too, so they are very big. Yeah, those are dog babies. Those are dog-sized babies. I wildest dreams thought, like this is a thing that I know probably will not happen. I don't mind trying to work towards being this person, but I also know that what I'm about to say is also insane. Um, I would love to have Maine Coons, a couple of them. Got to make sure that they have friends. And I would love to learn at least one, at least to train, at least train one of them and take them out for walks. And then I want to take my big ass cat out for walks. I just want that to happen. Yeah. Uh, I think that would be so fun. Be like, oh, oh my God, that's not a dog, that's a cat. What the hell? And be like, yeah, his name is Roscoe. His name doesn't have to be Roscoe. It could be something else. But I love having a human name for my pets. I had a coworker and a friend who she raised rabbits. Um, I think specifically her parents raised rabbits, and then she kind of got into the business too. Um, and she named all of her rabbits after like either literary people, like big names in the literary like world and history, or literature terms. Like I'm pretty sure, like she definitely had a John Keats. She had an Oscar Wilde. She also, like, I will say she had a David Bowie. So, but I mean, I would also argue that lyricism is part of literature for sure. Um, I can't remember. She had one literary term. It wasn't metaphor, but it was something kind of like metaphor in that kind of like multiple syllable. Um, I feel like metaphor's the one that like no, it wasn't like the opposite of metaphor. It was just like kind of a multiple syllable term that like the metaphor is a little bit too easy, I feel like, because like that's something a term that a lot of people know of, and this one was like a hyper specific type of literary term that like I was like, oh, I remember taking a class where I heard that word, like I had to go look it up. And I can't remember what it was though, but it was like, multi syllable, and it was like something describing a way that you could like frame a story in literature, and I just can't think of the word now, but she had a rabbit named that. Which I think is great. But yeah, she had Oscar Wilde was kind of uh yeah, I think he's the one that almost bit me when I tried to pick him up, which is fine. You're allowed to bite me, Oscar Wilde. Then she had Wollstonecraft, like Mary Shelley Wollstonecraft. You are clever, Sway. But also, metaphor and simile are very, yeah, they are close. So, see, I just assumed you were being helpful because you were usually so helpful. You are helpful. But yeah, Wollstonecraft was a great rabbit. I actually kind of regret not being in a place where I could adopt her right away. And now she's living at somebody else's house. Yeah. Well, honestly, I think I have a moderator that can do both. You have the sword by your name, dude. Anywho, if I get a farm, I'm gonna get rabbits. They will be 70% fiber rabbits. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, oh, that's right. I was gonna do a beaded curtain for this doorway. Why? Okay. No, I know I said I wasn't gonna do as much detail on this page as I did the last page. And yet here we are. Oh no. Notebook therapy, why would you do this to me? How did you know that I got paid? I don't know if you've ever checked out not sponsored or anything. I just really like the store Notebook Therapy because I love notebooks. How dare you email me telling you have like a big sale happening? Okay, these beads are a little bit too even, I think. I wanna kinda add some extra, make it look a little bit more chaotic y. Listen. I can't. I listen. I can't stop myself. Clearly, my mother-in-law just texted me for half a second. I thought it was you, Swag, and I was like, "How did you get my number?" I thought you were gonna text me to yell at me. Look, I'm going faster. Wait, why is it saying welcome to the chat room for me? I've been in the chat room. Twitch. I'm the one who's streaming. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, and I mean, I still don't have that 50-foot cable. Never mind the fact that I'm looking at my phone, or that's how I keep track of chat. Because while my art tablet is a monitor, so like I see the whole thing that is projected to your screen. It's also small, so there's like kind of not a lot of monitor real estate. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that word. Um, anyway, there's only so many things I can have visible at a time that I can actually see and still be able to do my art at the same time. So the phone needs to be the second monitor. See, that didn't take super long. Oops. Okay, that looks beaded curtain enough. I'll go in and do some cleanup and whatnot, but okay. Got that. I think I was gonna try to squeeze like a person into here. Right? I had like two chairs here too. Okay, I had two people facing each other. Or maybe just two chairs. Let's just do two chairs because honestly, Jameson's in the corner being very imposing. Yeah, it's probably for the best. That's less free poop for me to draw. Haha. Okay. Don't. Girl, you're doing this to yourself. Yes. Yes, it is. So about that, I can't help myself. I mean, but I mean, I don't have anything to say for myself in my defense. Yes, it's absolutely the reverse shot of the room that I had drawn just the page before. Oh, in fact, you weren't here last time. Not that I noticed. Give me just a second. Hold on. We'll do a real quick show and tell. So obviously this is a page I've been working on right now. I mean, I did. I did put the most complicated hairstyle in the foreground. Okay, so you saw the page. Okay. Uh, she's my main character. Of course, I have her on every page. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I can quit anytime I want. Oh my god. I just really like detail, apparently. I was like, ooh, I want to make this comic. I wonder if I can finish it by 2027. Like, and then all the detail comes in and says, no. What? I haven't actually quite done the math on it, like project manager math. Um, I do have enough data that I think I actually probably could do the project data math on how long it would take to complete Queen's Rogues as it is now. Um, and yeah, maybe I'll work on that because yeah, the goal kind of was by a very specific milestone in my life, which will be happening in 2027. Okay, her face is going to be mostly cut off, so yeah, let's just do a little bit of the eyelash line and then that'll be good. Okay, then I almost immediately start drawing the rest of the eye. Uh-huh. To be that sharp. What? No. There we go. That's a lot better. Fine, I guess we're just doing the eye. Okay. Let's do. Okay. Uh, um, oh, we can do this over here. We're gonna do a bucket shape. Bucket's a little on the sideways size, but honestly, I'm not sure I mind. All right, we're gonna do. There's got to be stuff in the bucket. We're gonna do a cane. We're gonna do some type of real fancy staff. Do a couple of pole arms. Actually, a pole arm should probably be a lot taller. Right? Let's see. Some type of point. And then actually wouldn't be that. Yeah. I'm gonna draw an actual umbrella because that's ultimately what this thing is an umbrella stand. Then coat hooks. Which will have a couple of coats on them, even though it's like kind of an open space in a tavern, but it's that kind of tavern. Mm-hmm. The door would open inward. Good morning, Jackie Beth. Also, I'm glad everyone deserves lazy mornings for sure. I don't remember what this door originally looked like. I think it had just like a cross kind of little people, I think. So at first I was thinking I was going to do a lot of posters on this door, but now I'm thinking I will actually just like have it be painted with, I don't know, more detail. Why can't I stop myself? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I guess this is what I get for really like a lot of the comics and the artists specifically that that draw them. I've always really liked the ones that were like hyper detailed. I mean, honestly, I think one of the comics that like really affected me in terms of artistic style um is definitely I only know the American name for it, Battle Angel Alita. I think it's like gun or it's vaguely a nonsense phrase in Japanese. um and like that kind of like cyberpunk, very hyper detailed like things, wires and hoses and panels and switches and whatnot. uh, yeah, definitely definitely spoke to me. And then that I read that before or after, like really close together to when I read Angel Sanctuary. And Angel Sanctuary is just sort of like hyper detailed look at all the hair and feathers. So I was doomed from the start is basically all I'm saying. um what let's clean this up. We can clean this up. Also, the song that's playing right now, Serena by Kiki Rockwell, it like their her music video for this is so cool. It's kind of Little Mermaid-esque, and like she made her own mermaid tail to wear in the music video. It's very good. I don't need those lines. We'll just do that. Just some type of like wizard's highly decorative staff or druid staff. I don't know. You know, look, this looks like it probably could have been made from like a gnarled branch that's been carved into different shapes. I'm thinking it probably has like little, jewels or something in it too, probably. Magical arcane gemstones. Needle spines. I will probably do an album change um at the intermission, or like after intermission. But yeah, so I think this is repeated once now because I feel like I definitely heard this song before. Yeah, I feel like this bucket has been tipped over a little bit, and I'm actually kind of not mad about it. Maybe the wizard staff is just like very heavy. Okay. A umbrella. And a wizard staff and a cane and a spear. Oh, stretch. Okay. All right, Jameson, what are you wearing? Let's do a big fluffy scarf as an homage to how much I love Hyrule Warriors and Link's big fluffy scarf that he wears in that game. Gonna have ostentatious, like, shoulder armor pads and like a heavy ass cloak. The next page, I promise, he will actually have lines and we will be able to see him up close in person. He is a palace card for now. This page, I stuck him in the corner. I put baby in the corner. Maybe just because I haven't, like, colored him in or done the rest of the detail on him, I'm just like, oh no, why is he giving me such Bobby Hill energy? No, Jameson. Oh, no, if it's a cloak, let's do one of this deal. Oh, okay, all right. We're going to actually dismiss. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna let this song keep going. I'll find something else. I don't know. We might even go to a different artist, or I'll just find a different Kiki Rockwell album. But okay, let's. Where is all of my stuff here? Okay. All right, I will be back in about the normal 5 to 7. So yeah, everybody, please, get up, stretch, refill your waters, wash your hands, whatever it is you need to do. I'll be back in about 7 minutes. Okay. Um, I'll keep you on the intermission screen for just a half a second, while I find something new to play. Um, ooh, Blast from the Past. Okay. Um, do we do visual audio sensory theater from 1998, or do we do She Wants Revenge from 2007? Wait, is that their main album? No, it's not. We want the Tear You Apart one. Yeah. I mean, both albums are very good. Why not? We're gonna do this. All right, we're gonna do a hard cut into a different song. There we go. Woo! 2006. She Wants Revenge. Don't worry about the theming, folks. I'm totally fine. It's okay. It just, I grew up listening to like alternative rock, and like despite it being alternative rock, it was very easily like 80 to 85% like male vocals and male led bands. And I'm just now, I mean, not to say that this isn't a male led band, but like this is definitely like something I grew up listening to, but also like, man, I just really like hearing female rockers rock out now. I've got to like balance it out. Did it not transition? Like, what's happening? Art screen? Did I pause myself? Or is it just dropping frames? That's a good question. Can I transition again, maybe? Okay, I think it was actually more my phone than it was the upload. I think my phone just decided to pause for some reason, probably because I went to sleep. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Yay! Oh, I want to see my own music. There we go. All right, Jameson. For some reason, I also feel like I drew you a little bit on the shorter side, and I feel bad about that. We're gonna do something really fast here because, yeah, I really do think I drew him a little bit too short. All right, so if his feet are there. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better height wise for him. Okay, so How was I gonna? Was it a Roman skirt? I can't remember what I was gonna do with this guy. So yeah, this is the a palace guard essentially. You know, I'm just gonna put the body lines in here. Okay. He looks less short that way. Good. So I feel like maybe these need to be up a little bit higher too. His neck, shoulders, yeah. Just designing armor on the fly. Okay. Thought something was wrong with the his torso was like really long. Which hey, is totally possible, but I wanted it to be more leggy. Okay. Ooh, I got a notification that it was gonna rain. Interesting. Okay, and then that's not the eraser. I think probably the chainmail skirt under something. Big boots. Metal iron boots. When you wear a sword on your hip, it's the opposite side of your draw hand, so it'd be over here. The sword is not bending, it's gonna have to just, yeah. Okay. Sword. The only thing that I'm a little, I don't know if not worried about. The only thing that I haven't like squared in my head as far as this comic goes and like the plot line of it is actually has to do with this guy right here. And so I don't know. I think as I'm drawing him, my mind is also going like, "You don't? Are you sure?" Um, so one of the main kind of like parts of this story, because it's a fantasy spy comedy, so it's spies, right? There's a certain amount of like doing things for like these are I should say these are like classic like spies that work for a country kind of thing. This isn't like corporate espionage or anything. Um, this is just straight up like country versus country espionage. And so part of the plot is they're doing the queen hires the main character's Rosenquill, um or someone from essentially the kingdom, her spy master hires them to do a job that's kind of off book. Like they don't the kingdom itself doesn't want to be caught being the ones who are doing this, so they specifically hire mercenaries essentially to do this thing for them. And so part of it is like so they can establish a reasonable doubt of like the whole like I don't know, there are citizens, maybe they just wanted to help me out kind of thing, like as a defense if they ever kind of get like caught or people call them out for it. So that like that's specifically why they're hiring mercenaries. um what? Oh, I just got a text message from my doctor that I owe them $5 for the labs they ran for me. I'm like, cool, we can wrap that into the next time. It's like $5. Okay. I could do $5 for blood work. Um I wish it was free, but whatever. I'm sure they billed the insurance company like $100 for it, but anyway. But yeah, so the one thing that I'm kind of thinking about is would he even be here dressed as a palace guard to deliver them the notice? Essentially, the less, it's not a subpoena or a warrant, it's just a hey, it is highly encouraged for you to show up here at this time to go talk to somebody. Like, we're hiring you for a job. We don't really want you to say no. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of trying to decide like I'm just gonna keep him in the armor for now. I want to put him in armor. I want to establish his role from a comic viewpoint, even if it doesn't exactly make sense in world. Um, but yeah, maybe it's kind of like a he knows something is up because he doesn't like usually this kind of invitation to go speak to one of the inner echelon of the court. um yeah. Yeah. But I'm just it's fine. Stop thinking about it. Just draw him in armor. Maybe the palace guards are frequently used as the kind of like go-betweens. Um, like for stuff that happens like on the palace on the hill. Um, oh hello. Twitch, why would you think that I would want to stop my stream? I mean, I guess I could raid her, but like I'm not done with my own stream yet. I just find it so weird that Twitch constantly advertises when, granted, people that I like are streaming now, when it's like I'm very obviously filming. Whom's talking to me? I just heard a bleep. Probably. Yes, no, maybe. I just heard a blub blub. Where did the blub blub come from? Whatever. The blub blub will happen again or it won't. Anywho. Sorry, I had to do a couple of anxiously checking things. Um but yeah, maybe the palace guards are kind of used to like delivering messages, going as like the kind of in between go betweens, um and fetching people to the palace whenever they've been essentially like officially summoned. Because yeah, like this is especially the citizens of this city, like, but actually, they might even have a network of anyone in the country they actually go and they fetch in some regards, for whenever the queen needs to have like a personal audience with them and to be like, hey, you need to show up at such and such a time. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I'm actually now thinking about it, and I'm really tempted to have, like, I don't know if it's established yet. Maybe it's something I can have them establish later in, like, if I ever do more books of this. But I wonder if the Palace Guard eventually evolves into like kind of a postal service, because I don't think that they have a postal service right now. I think they have a like culture of just paying people to deliver notes or whatever, or they might have like a couple of companies that do like definitely any like you're kind of responsible for delivering your own messages basically. And so like there are probably like little places or vendors or kind of like maybe even like street kind of vendors that are like just available to like, we'll collect all your mail by noon if you just drop them in this box, and then this person or this team of people will deliver them, kind of thing. But they're like almost like little storefronts. So yeah, maybe the Palace Guard eventually like evolves to become the kind of postal service of this kingdom. Just like kind of naturally. Because yeah, the guards are responsible for the security of the palace. But they actually spend a lot of their time, they're very flashy. And I feel like part of the flashiness is to remind people to behave because these are like really maybe not. I think they're just flashy because they like wearing the freaking armor. I don't know. I'm trying to world build as I'm drawing it. I kind of like the idea of like palace guard, like the palace post that like delivers mail across the country. I like the idea of these guys being more like mailmen. Especially because like I feel like that fits with the queen of this country, who she's extremely powerful, and she's powerful not because she's like a okay military, you know. She's got her navy is actually not really much to write home about. Um, but she has such an information network. Like her whole power set is information. So yeah, maybe like having her establish the first post office kind of makes sense because it's like we need I need to be able to carry my information over distances safely and securely. Um because yeah, she would go on security first rather than speed because that's her bread and butter is literally information. Yeah, I like that. I like okay, all right. We're world building. We're writing the comic as we go. We're not. The comic is written. I'm just kind of fleshing out details. Try to get this. I feel like this cloak kind of got away from me here. Okay. Mr. Jameson, you are turning out pretty good. I don't like that. Okay, I might have to look at what armor looks like. This is like I'm. It's not the first time I've drawn armor. Just sort of casually flipping his helmet around. Okay, let's move over here so I can give myself a minute to think about what his arm guard levy looks like. the plant. Hi, Virgil. I need to turn you into an emote too. Okay. Let's go in and try to get most of this line out. Okay. I mean, I'll need to clean up some more of that, but that looks a lot better. I swear it's the same white truck that, like, every morning drives down the road in front of my house and, like, just honks their horn like 7 or 8 times going down the street. Like, sir. And or ma'am. It's a big white truck. I just sort of assumed it was a dude driving it, but honestly, here, it's hard to tell. Big white trucks are just a status symbol, so there's quite a few people of variety of genders who drive big white trucks. Okay. I should probably really be putting some stuff on this bookshelf, but then Swag will yell at me again. No, it's okay. I'm just gonna do it. It's like Swag's gonna yell at me again. No, it's because he cares about me. I don't know if you would see much of the ceiling, to be honest. Ceiling, roof, I don't know what you would call this. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, and then the shelving will be done, yeah. Okay. That's right, right? Yeah. I like, yeah. I think I'm just giving myself an optical illusion. I've completely forgotten how to draw Roz's hair. Yeah, we'll just, yeah. Let's check all that out. Okay. That's the eraser. Okay, Ryan adds fuck you sword in here. Actually, I don't think it's big enough. Go back. Maybe here. Wait. Hey, this is up too high. What's this? Yeah. Chair. Breakfast on the table. People. You know, maybe I won't draw. Um, Seems like would be really crowded and doesn't exactly make sense for Jamison to find the weirdest, most awkward corner to lurk in. I just realized. Actually, no, wait, hold on. That's right. Hold on. He's tall. How tall did I draw that spear? Maybe I should draw the spear taller. Is he taller than the door? He might. No. He might be taller than the door. Maybe I'll just make the door taller. That's an easy fix. I mean, alternatively, maybe the door's just a little tiny, but nah, I feel like they've got. I've drawn a lot of really tall people in here, so maybe they have kind of more a tall base clientele. To change the dimensions on some things, but yes. Screw up the proportions for everything else. Let's find out. I keep hearing the blue blue blue, and I'm not sure who's sending it. It sounds like a Discord boop boop. I'm not getting any notifications. Okay, I have no idea what's happening. I am so confused. Why am I getting so many boops? Okay, you know what? Self. Oh, I was getting weird boops. Guess my phone just wasn't showing them to me. We're going to go away. There we go. Ha 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 ha. Don't try to sell me things. I am at work. I don't want to buy anything. The money is supposed to be going this way, towards me. What money? No, let's see what okay. There's lots of things I could still be working on. Hmm. More knickknacks, I guess. Something up here, I guess. What do I want to work on? I don't know. Let's do. Whoa, hello. Raw's hair. It's interesting listening to this album again because I really liked this album when I was in college. Um, which is also incidentally about when it came out. And yeah, I'm like listening to it. I'm like, man, it sounds like you broke up with this chick. Like, was lost with one goodbye, and I'm like, this wasn't just you leaving for the store. Like you left her. Like your goodbye indicates that you just sort of left, and she thought the relationship was over, and you're like, all the things I did for you like apparently weren't enough. It was all lost with one goodbye. And I'm like, dude, you left first? Like, do you want her back? Is that what's happening in the song? If you like, I don't know, maybe you should communicate better. Like, it sounds like you broke up with her and now regret it. And like, but you broke up with her, and so she now has the decision to be like, listen, I don't know if I'm ready to kind of go through that possibility again. You broke up with me once. What's to say that you won't decide to do that again later? You know? Anywho, I do still like a lot of these songs, but like, man, this guy is interesting. Maybe not the most dateable person. There, if she doesn't want to invite you into your house, then she does not have to. Why can't I just spend the night? Be like, well, because she doesn't want you in your home in her home snoring. I don't know. Like, she doesn't need that much of a reason. Whoa, that was thunder. Heck yeah! Storm's coming. There, I paid my taxes. I'm allowed to. I can stay here longer now. That's what you have to do when you live here. You have to say storm's coming whenever you hear thunder. It's required. You know what the funny thing is that like I'm just talking about this song now. Um like I've dated a lot of people. Dated a lot of people. Anyway, if you have to ask why don't I just spend the night? Like I mean, I don't know. Like there's definitely situations where people say like that I've been in where it's getting late or whatever, but it really sometimes it really isn't that big of a deal. And so especially like if you've gotten to know that person enough, if that person has really authentically opened up, you usually can get kind of a, or at least I can, and maybe that's partly because I've had some so much practice, because I've dated so many people, but like you kind of get to the point where you're like, okay, this person is putting on a show versus this person is like, oh, I actually like, they're letting it all hang loose, like they're not masking or whatever, kind of thing. And if yeah, at that point, like if you were already in friend status, I probably would, like, you know what, it is late and it's really cold outside and it's like icy or something, like just spend the night on my couch. Like there is a probability where that could happen. There would have to be a lot of stuff that happens before, like there would have to be several things that I would have to, like, the risk assessment would have to be like kind of like things would have to be checked off the list of risk assessment of like, do I let this person in my house? um but I mean, it's possible. It's not even like a close to 0% chance. And also sometimes, like, depending on the relationship, this is also kind of like, sorry to say, a good test to be like, can you respect my boundaries, kind of thing. So anyway, all I am saying is it's not like you should like never be like, oh, if someone asks to spend the night then you should say no or whatever, but like at the same time, like, man, it's there's some math going on in there with those kind of requests that, like, some people are fully aware of. Some people are fully aware of what they're asking when they're saying like, hey, I know it's an imposition, but like, can I spend the night at your place? Like I promise, clothes on, I'll sleep on the couch, I just like, I don't want to drive home in this state or whatever. um and like, because I'm also the person that, like, if I've been out drinking with my friends or something like that, like, I don't drink anymore, but like when I did, I would be like, you're not driving home. Like, either you're calling a taxi or an Uber or you're crashing at my place. Like, like, I'm um very strict about that. Um like I have gotten in fights with roommate. I've gotten in fights with roommates before because they were drinking and then wanted to go out driving, and I was like, you're not allowed. I will literally, like, I will hide your keys. Like, I'm mean about it because it's like, I this isn't even about you. You're you're talking about going out and possibly killing in another family if you get in a car crash. Like I cannot let you do that. I will never sleep again if I don't do something. Anyway, but like yeah, there's a lot going on in the asking someone, especially it sounds like a male, person, gender, asking someone. I think he was saying she, her pronouns in that other song about like, can I just spend the night? Be like, okay, like it's it's not an automatic no, but man, there's a lot of like, you gotta behave. You're in her house. You need to behave. You need to err on the side of I might not be reading these signals right. Like, you need to get express permission for literally everything. Like, come on, man. Don't just think you've talked yourself into her house. Now you can do whatever you want. Because I've definitely. Those people never made it into my house. Well, no, none of those people ever made it into my house. I did good on that front. But man, sometimes it was tricky. And if they had caught me when I was like younger, I'd be like, I don't know what to do in this situation. And this is just a ghosting breakup where you're like, well, if we just stop talking for long enough, then we definitely won't be dating anymore, and I don't actually have to go through the breakup. Which, hey, does sound familiar for my life. Ghosting isn't fun, but it definitely works. It's really mean, but it does work. I always thought that this particular album would be like a great soundtrack for um I guess kind of like okay, I haven't read this book, so like I don't know. I feel like I'm putting it on blast without actually knowing that much about it, but that book it got released a couple years ago, last year maybe. It's pretty new. Butcher and Blackbird, and it's supposed to be a like serial killers in love, basically. Um, which I'm all for. I was a Poppy Z Bright kind of person when I was younger, like college age younger, so no, I totally get the appeal. Um, Poppy Z Bright is an author who writes a lot of really deranged, good, very good, very an extremely poetic kind of author. But also she's interested in like, or oh no, I'm sorry, I think he transitioned. But yeah, anyway, the still writes under Poppy Z, right? But he's really interested in like the really like the darker side of like emotion and humanity and like the stuff that we do to each other. Anyway, and so like, you know, that's what a lot of his theming is about. And so like, yeah, no, I get like the serial killers in love, totally get that angle of like wanting to kind of read a story from that perspective. Um, and I think Butcher and Blackboard is supposed to be like that, although I've heard it wasn't great, but I haven't read it myself, so that's all I'm going to say about it. Anyway, I think she wants revenge, like the first album, the 2006 album. That would be such a good. This would be such a good soundtrack for like psychopaths with a very toxic relationship and they're in love. Maybe they fall out of love somewhere around the end of the book, but I think that would be it would be good. It would be cool. I don't know if I want to write that though. That seems really dark. Like I'm not ready to explore that side of humanity so closely and vividly. Thank you. Like I'll read about it, but I don't know if I want to write it. I think what I really liked about these songs, especially like as a young adult, like a very young new adult, is I think I related to the singer a lot. Like I'm willing to obsess about you because that's how my mind works. You know, until the price becomes too high, and then I'm like, I'm done with you. I can't anymore. The trick is to find someone that you don't have to obsess about. There's a certain amount of like, my thoughts are filled with you or whatever, versus like I have to analyze every single thing you say to make sure that we're okay. I'm like, yeah, no, that's bad. You shouldn't be doing that. If your partner is like a freaking logic puzzle for you to figure out, then you should probably not be with that person. in there. I will be adding more detail in there, but at least I got like kind of like the main lines in. Maybe this whole area. There's something about it that's I'm not happy with. So in fact, they feel a little flat. Maybe that's the problem, is that they're not like round. They're not like they're like pulled way too tight or something. Roz does not like having her hair pulled that tightly. Something she had grown up with very elaborate hairstyles. Cause she's secretly a princess. But like they basically like she's now associated like the overly tight, elaborate hairstyles and stuff. She's trying to move away from them basically because they're like she does not want the princess thing. So she's trying to be as unprincess like as possible. Okay, that's a little better. Zoom out again. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we did Roz. We did most of her hair. We got partial Jameson. Filled in the posters. Finished the actual furniture of the bookshelf. Did most of the little potted orange tree thing. Fixed the door. I'm not sure if I have. Yeah, this door's well. I mean, this is like the entrance door, and this is a side door. Maybe I'll just put a sign that says like "Watch your head." Like, if you can read this, watch your head. Yeah, that seems like something they would do. Yeah. Maybe the entryway is just a little on the short side, because, like, this is probably a 6-foot spear. I feel like. And so, yeah, this doorway is maybe just a little bit over 6 feet tall. So yeah, for people who are taller than 6 feet, like, they would have to duck. So yeah, that makes sense. All right, we're gonna leave it like that. Type of welcome mat. Probably. Oh, I should probably draw some lights. Should be here. Okay. Okay. So Amy is short enough, I think. Not Amy Adele. But yeah, definitely Ryan adds hair. Ooh, it is raining. I'm glad I kept that window closed. It is coming in this way. What if she's got some hair that's kind of like escaped to the other side of the couch? Okay, this leaf looks a little bit too much. Just a little much. There we go. What? Oh. Okay, well, I guess it's noon. Okay. I'm gonna just sort of go back in and kind of make these flowers pop. Before I forget where they are. Like I had a flower down here, yeah. This is a flower. I think that was really it. I think that was all my little flowers. The rest were just sort of leaves and petals. Okay. Honestly, we did a lot. Because once again, I've decided to do massive nightmare detail hell. But yeah. Let's see, we're gonna yeah. So yeah, obviously there's some more stuff to be added in and finished up, but we're getting there. Page 14, woo! All right. So, yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out with me. I hope everyone has a good weekend. This is not Thanksgiving weekend. Thanksgiving is next week? The week after? Oh my god. I actually don't know. Hold on. I'm looking. Today's the it is next week. Yeah, it's exactly a week from now. Woo! I know how time works. I have a calendar. Yeah. So I actually okay, for sure next week I will not be here. Like I will not be able to stream for Thanksgiving. I might do like a weekend stream afterwards because I don't think I have much going on that following weekend. I'm definitely not shopping. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what next week looks like with the holidays and whatnot. So, but yeah, everyone have a great weekend and yeah, 1 week check. Yeah, I had to look at my calendar. I was like, I don't know what it is. It's getting soon. So, but yeah, everyone stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, or if you're too dry, then get some water. I don't know, whatever. Do the things that makes the environment better for you to live in. And I will see you probably next Tuesday. I think that's my plan. We'll see you next Tuesday. Okay.